experience studying the Brookhaven landfill and waste management. I was wondering if you could
Yes.
tell me how and why you got involved in this field of study.
I used to be a math teacher,
Okay.
and I wasn't very good at it. In fact, I was terrible. And so then I thought I would want to be a doctor because I liked helping people. I just didn't know how to do it. And I came to Stony Brook in the summer to study organic chemistry because that's a necessary thing before you become a doctor. And I hated organic chemistry. I was good at it, but it was a dull course full of memorization and not too much thinking about things. And I spoke with someone I knew who was a dentist, and they said, "Oh, if you hate organic chemistry, wait till you go to med school, and you have to learn the muscles of the hand and the bones of the face. No, it's the bones of the hand and the muscles of the face. And it's nothing but memorization." And I said, "Well, that's unattractive. That's not, I like intellectual things, and I don't want to just spend my time memorizing." And so I got a master's degree from here and studying recycling in restaurants. And I thought that I might like to work for EPA or New York State. And I was worried if I only had a master's degree, maybe there would be a promotion I would miss out. Not that I wanted to run the place, but I didn't want to miss out on a promotion. And so I could get a PhD with the School of Marine and Atmospheric Sciences because they had a waste management program buried in there somewhere. And so I talked my way into that program. And I got to, in order to have my tuition paid and to get a paycheck, they rented me out to the town of Brookhaven to work as a technical advisor to them. And so I started working with the town of Brookhaven back in 1992, and I've been working with them ever since. And I fell in love with garbage because it's a multidisciplinary field and requires you to know something about psychology and economics and engineering.
So how do landfills cause pollution? And is it common to see a landfill cause a lot of problems and complaints in communities?
Yeah. And landfill is a smelly, noisy place with lots of truck traffic. You can get litter blowing from it. And so it's not a good neighbor. So they're one of the things that is very attractive for NIMBY. Not in my backyard.
I graduated from Bellport High School from South Country School District, and I attended Frank P. Long, so I've seen a lot of the problems that are supposedly caused by the landfill.
Yes.
When I was attending Frank P. Long, that was when the town was still accepting sludge, and there were many times where students were sent home. I remember feeling sick myself from the smell, but the town lost its permit to accept sludge in 2011. But are there lasting effects from this sludge being accepted in the past?
We learned a hard lesson that you don't mix sewage sludge and construction and demolition debris unless you want to have a terrible odor problem. And so I thought that everyone had learned that lesson. But it turns out that the smart guys who were running the Brookhaven landfill in the late, in that first decade of the 2000s had not been around in 1990. And so they didn't learn that lesson. And so they saw a way of New York City had a huge need to get rid of sewage sludge, and the town was taking in lots of construction debris. So they thought, oh, this is a good way of making money and reducing taxes for people. And as you found out, it didn't work out so well. Now, what the impact of that on your long-term health is going to be, I don't know. Hydrogen sulfide is toxic at very low concentrations, but obviously it didn't kill you.
Yeah.
right? And nobody passed out in the rooms and things like that. So it was just an obnoxious. It was an obnoxious odor. Um, there will have been other gases generated in association with the hydrogen sulfide, some of which are not healthy for people, and you will have been exposed to those.
I'm sure you know that Frank P. Long has had a lot of controversy in our community. Teachers have reported health problems. There's been a lot of instances of cancer, which has led to a lot of teachers passing away. Students have reported feeling sick, and this has been since after the sludge has stopped being accepted. And a lot of students have felt sick and then had symptoms that seemed to basically disappear when they moved on from Frank P. Long. What role do you think that the landfill plays in causing these health problems?
You can see that the school is closer to the landfill than a lot of other areas, but it's hard because oftentimes you become more aware of something, and therefore it gains greater significance. So, as I said, 1/3 of all deaths in the United States come from cancer.
Yeah.
So if teachers are dying of cancer, that's not good, but I don't know that it's
necessarily
a death rate that's unexpected. The student illnesses is harder to explain, and makes less sense. Some people have attributed stuff like this to sort of like susceptible hysteria, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that people talk each other into stuff. If I could see if it were a cluster of suicides where somehow a group of peers persuaded each other that ending their life was a better way of dealing with problems than something else. But a cluster of illnesses because people talk themselves into it, I don't think so. Could it be that people are looking harder for something? Could be, but then why do they go away?
Yeah.
And again, if the school is a locus for illness and the landfill looms, less than a mile away, then it's easy to say, well, it must be the landfill. Is it necessarily the landfill? Well, that I don't know. I can't make that connection.
Give you a little more statistics. They said that there's been about 35 teachers who've contracted cancer and 14 who've passed away since about 1998, which is a little more than one a year. But after private testing of the air quality and groundwater, the district decided to keep Frank P. Long open, as the test didn't show any violations or dangerous levels of pollutants, which has left a lot of teachers, students, parents, community members really angry about this decision and concerned. Do you think that the district has done enough to protect the community?
They've done what is typically done, right? So when we test for chemicals, for instance, in water or in the air, we test for things that we can test for. We don't necessarily test for everything that's there. So some things won't turn up, and we've never studied them, and we don't know what they cause, and we don't know what their effect is. So have they? Is their testing enough to say it's safe to be there? No, you can't say that. So like the taking air quality samples at the school or water quality samples, they seem to have shown nothing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that the tests were the right tests. I don't know that anyone has actually quantified the problem well.